Hello, beautiful people. Hi, how's it all going? Thank you so much for joining us for episode 29 of The Atomless. We are going to go around and do some hi hellos, and as we do, we are also going to say our favorite movie from 2007. So if you want to join in on this conversation, you have to find what your favorite movie is for 2007. If you're watching this on the VOD, like 15 years after this airs, you also have to put down your favorite movie from 2007. And if you don't have a favorite movie from 2007 because you were born in the year 2023 and haven't watched anything from that year, we're going to give you some really killer recommendations. My name is Matthew Ekberg. Matthew Ekberg, Captain Krail and all things. There we go. I got it right that time. And I will start us off with a movie which is in my top 3 favorite movies of all time, and a movie which I very, very genuinely think is one of the greatest ever, and that's Hot Fuzz. This is frustrating because this is a re-recording, and we had a whole bit talking about
Hot Fuzz has changed the world, Matt.
Okay, in the UK, Hot Fuzz has actually changed the world because it's changed the lexicon of every single person there. Don't you try and make it seem like it's not a formative piece of media, because it so is, you heathen. Fucking, just, you have, go on, no, fuck you. You say it now. What's your favorite movie from 2007? I demand you beat me.
Super Dylan, or Dylan, she, he, and they pronouns. And my favorite movie from 2007 is Stardust, an absolute banger of an adaptation of the novel by the same name, in which a kind of painfully charming but arrogant young boy
What? Who are you pointing at? Why are you wiggling your finger?
I'm not pointing at anyone.
Yeah, so what are you wiggling your finger at?
I'm thinking about Tristan's personality traits. Discovers a fallen star that takes the form of a beautiful young woman who does not have a singular moment to take his shit. And he tries to take her back as a gift for his crappy girlfriend because he's not wise. And along that journey, at the same time, we learn that there is a coven of witches that need that star to regain their immortality, and they are on the hunt at the same time. There is so much whimsy, and there are sky pirates and magic candles and just all kinds of interesting little bits of folklore. There are ghosts that are like a little peanut gallery of on the entire situation as it plays out. It's very good. It's very charming. It's wonderful. That's it.
All right, that was pretty good. And that Norden, before we started, guessed Enchanted, which it's like those two movies we're so close in like a pick, and yeah, so I believe that. I think he got it right.
No, that's a really close guess.
Yeah. Norden, would you like to go?
Sure. I love to. My name is Nordine Likadir. You can find my Werewolf Feels. I'm tired. It's okay.
Beautiful.
But when it comes to 2007 films, speaking of Enchanted, actually, this was like a good year for the movie musical. Because you got Enchanted, you got like Sweeney Todd came out this year, Hairspray, and the film version of Waitress came out, which is not a musical, but got later.
But then got the
as
adaptation.
Indeed, and was on Broadway. But naturally, I'm not going to pick any of those. What I'm going to do is pick Alvin and the Chipmunks and refuse to explain myself.
I hate you.
Yeah, fuck you too, Matthew.
Why?
Why?
Do you like it?
You hate? Why would you do this?
I'm going to pick Alvin and the Chipmunks and refuse to explain myself is the words I said.
Wait, is that the live action one with
Neil Patrick Harris? No, Neil Patrick Harris was the Smurfs.
No, he was in Smurfs. Fucking My Name's Earl guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I promise you, if you're thinking, oh, this hot young like teen man superstar voiced a chipmunk, right? In this film, the answer is yes. Thinking of the right one. This was indeed the first of those movies.
Jason
again,
Lee, that's his name.
I refuse to explain myself. You're gonna have to live with what I just said, and you're gonna have to live with
Matthew
it
Gray
forever.
Goldblum
What
was
if I
Simon. I
rewatch
like
it?
him in Criminal Minds.
You
so
know what? I will say, arguably, Justin Timberlake's best movie, which is unfortunate.
Justin Timberlake is in that movie.
He's
Oh.
Alvin.
He's
Oh,
Alvin.
He's
Is it
Alvin?
Justin Timberlake or Jesse McCart?
Jesse McCartney was Theodore.
Yeah, Jesse
He's
McCarthy is Theodore. Who are the chipmunks? There's Theodore.
Alvin and Simon. There's only 3. Oh,
Alvin
there's
and
also
Simon.
the Chipettes, but that's a whole different.
All right.
That's a different. Yeah.
On the Google cast list, Justin Timberlake does not make an appearance, and I think that's just a slight that Google itself has said that
That's very funny.
they demand he's not in the movie.
Oh, fully? I lied.
Oh,
It's Justin Long.
Justin
Why
Long.
did I think it was Justin Timberlake?
Oh,
Wow.
Justin Long.
that is a
What
very very
strange
good
career, little boy.
very good performance from Justin Timberlake to transforming into Justin Long.
I'm not saying it was
Good
good.
man.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not even saying it was my favorite. I'm just saying it. I'm saying that it is my favorite and refusing to explain myself. Where
Oh,
should
good.
she go?
Sure. Hatred.
Hey everybody. I'm Andre. My pronouns are he, they. And, this year's a weird one for me. There's a lot of movies that I do like. I have not watched this movie since I was literally forced to watch it in school, but I do remember Into the Wild. That was a movie. Arguably, well, this year had a lot of threequels for animated films. Shrek the Third came out, and that's a dog shit movie. I hate that movie. But the far superior threequel is Cinderella 3 and Twist in Time, which I had mentioned before on the show.
Yeah.
That is arguably the best direct-to-DVD Disney sequel. It actually like super expands on like the concept of like magic that the fairy godmother uses, and basically the pitch of the film is that the evil stepmother gets a hold of the fairy godmother's wand after the happily ever after, and then uses the magic to undo time and like basically have one of the ugly stepsisters marry the prince instead. So it's just like a whole alternate universe where like Cinderella is now like made a princess.
It's
And
weird.
it's wild.
It's weird because that movie gets referenced to me all the time. I don't know why, but it's consistently brought up. People love Cinderella: A Twist in Time. Love it.
Obviously this was still in the days of Pixar dominance, so Ratatouille is like the movie. My dad took me to see Transformers in theaters, and I cried immediately because it was so loud.
Oh, no.
So we instead went to watch Ratatouille, and he hated it, and I liked it.
Phew.
I don't know if I have a favorite, which is kind of terrible to say.
Not Ratatouille?
I think Ratatouille is a great movie. I just don't know that it's my favorite. Like, it's out of all the movies of this year, Ratatouille is the best movie. I'm not sure it's my
Okay.
favorite.
Okay. Okay.
Very good.
Surf's Up. Duh. Surf's Up is such a great, weird little indie. Not indie. I mean, it was made by Sony Animation, but it's
Little indie studios. Yeah.
little indie, Sony. But that's legitimately one of the most inventive and like kind of weirdly groundbreaking animated films, because like it was around the time that like 3D animation was actually really starting to get like pretty solid as far as like rendering cartoon like worlds and like landscapes and water. Like the water looks pretty good even for modern standards. and it was filmed in like a mockumentary style, which I don't think prior to that there had ever been an animated mockumentary, and that I think paved the way for a lot of things, more so TV, where it's like Total Drama Island or Drawn Together, where it's like mimicking reality TV or other sorts of like comedic like things with like real cameras, so probably Surf's Up. Also, I've talked a lot about Disney in previous years. This was still a year for Disney. Meet the Robinsons came out, which was a movie. I think it's pretty good, frankly.
Mo loves Meet the Robinsons.
But the more important Disney thing was the short that played before it, which is How to Hook Up Your Home Theater, which is a Goofy short. That was the first sign that Disney was going to do 2D animation again, because they basically recruited a bunch of people to do that again.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's kind of the prelude for what's around the corner for Disney.
Yeah.
But there was another movie in here too that I wanted to. Oh, I mentioned this to everybody before we started recording, but there were too many crocodile movies this year.
Yeah.
There's Croc. There's Primeval. There's another one. It's too many. Why are there so many crocodiles?
Who knows?
What's happening?
And to close this off, beautiful one from Momo O'Brien. I have money on what your favorite movie of 2007 is.
Hello, my name is Momo O'Brien. You can find me everywhere at Momo_O'Brien. I make content about immersive experiences. Here on Twitch, I've started regularly streaming Pomodoro productivity streams. And 2007 was this was like the first really hard year for me to pick, to the point that I have a small list of special mentions. Ratatouille, Stardust, Once, Hairspray, Juno. Second place has to go to Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, specifically because Dustin Hoffman's final monologue makes me bawl my eyes out every single time. But fairly predictably, I think my favorite movie of 2007 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Damn it.
And I would like to say that I own not only one, but 2 DVD copies of the 2007
Why?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Why do you have 2?
Because one has we couldn't find Turtles in time. And so I think somebody bought me, it might have been Matt, bought me this one that had Turtles in time, but it also has pretty much all of the other ones, and it includes 2007.
Were those within reach, or did you have to get up? Like,
I got up
okay.
to go get them. But yeah, I honestly think the 2007 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles might have been the beginning of the era, because I think I watched it before the 2003 series. I think it might have been my introduction into my lifelong obsession.
The turtles, to the dudes.
To the dudes.
To the dudes.
Yeah, I felt obligated to make that my number one.
Oh, for sure.
Where has Matt gone?
I don't know.
Oh God.
I mean,
Oh.
Matt?
Hello.
What?
So
What
I
did
just
you
wanted
get?
to briefly finish off the thing, right? Because I don't know, because people, they do know that you enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I did want to grab just like the rest of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles merch that we have within arm's reach, this is the 2003 series, complete edition. This is the complete 2012 series, and this is the first edition of the comics. Actually, this isn't the first edition.
oh, that's gorgeous, actually.
This is the first edition of...
That's
this
pretty
is the
cool.
first volume of the comics. So this is the first, I think, 50
that's pretty rad.
of them. The first 12 issues, my apologies. First 12 issues. And including those 2 DVDs that Mo has. So whenever... And then also, of course, then we have Skyscraper, who is literally all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rammed into one, which is why her activation word for skateboard is cowabunga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's
There
an
you go.
engineer because of Donatello. Her personality is Michelangelo.
Yeah.
She is violent because of Raphael, I guess. And she's edgy, like Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
It's
all
the
of them.
whole
Yeah.
thing. See, because for some reason I didn't want to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought you were gonna go with Enchanted. If I was,
It's
to
a
be
great
honest.
movie.
It's okay.
Wow.
I like it. It's
Oh.
good. But it's in that umbrella of like Disney movies I will watch when I'm in the mood for a Disney movie, but it doesn't stand on its own in Momo's heart, you know?
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know you at all. Dang it.
Wow.
Okay.
I gotta keep the people on their toes.
Rough times here at the Atomless gang.
Okay. And with that, do you guys want to go fly into space?
Space.
I wanna-
After we've
I
talked
wanna
about Teenage Mutant Ninja
Take
Turtles?
5 and then yeah.
We'll go into space then. Okay. You've never experienced cold quite like this, Azhaam. If you listen really carefully, you can almost hear the sizzling speed cooling of your own skin as you walk inside of the CERT energy mining facility. You've never been in one of these before, not really, not without blowing a hole in one of them first. And you haven't blown a hole in this facility. You're barely armed. You have such little guard that you feel a little naked. The mercenaries that work for CERT Energy, they haven't fared well against the Afriti people. They've been on your planet on Irem for around 5 years, and the effect of the planet's cooling is being felt to a drastic degree. But you were winning. You forced them to leave. You destroyed their machines, their systems. They were all on the back foot. Until recently. CERT Energy contacted the Galactic Armed Forces, the Ulfheonar, on terms of defense against you. They arrived last month in a Bifrost ship that almost blocks out the sun. You've been contacted by the leader of this unit, Captain Mongolia Cole, not yet a general. She has asked you to meet, to offer a truce. You walk down the hall, guarded, flanked by either end by your own team. But amongst this crowd, there are also Heth. You arrive just before the doors to this meeting room. What is it that you want to do?
I speak in my own language to my people. Hive isn't here specifically so I could avoid using any of the languages I struggle with, and instead stick to mine own when I say, remember, we have a plan. They've brought us here, which means that you have total run of the place so long as you're careful enough. Trust your gut.
Do you walk through the doors? To the doors.
I reach out and, without looking at them, I squeeze the hand of a tall, masculine Afriti like myself, but with shorter curved horns. My partner in all this.
The blue flames rise a little bit as you grip hands. They have a weapon to their side, but Melisse isn't grabbing it, but has it for protection purposes. All right, Senator. It's all on you.
I've been a senator for a while. Ambassador, I think.
All right. On your command.
When things go south, and they will, you know how fire works. And with that, I walk through the door.
The cool, clean of the doors open. A woman sits on the other end of this large meeting table. Elven, she has this shaved head. No armor on, in a almost professional business attire, but with these medals and badges on her left side. As the doors open, you see that she's writing something on a hollow pad, and she looks up. Hello. You are Azhaam Amir?
That is who you asked to speak to, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And you are... I'm sorry, I don't do well with trade titles. General? Captain?
Captain.
Captain. Magnolia Cole.
Captain Cole is fine. Please, sit.
Of course. And rather than sitting at the other end of the table, he walks up and sits quite close. It's not like directly beside the other head where Magnolia is, but just one seat back.
Mm. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate your readiness to talk. I have brought you here because we would rather things not go too big. We have already had a lot of bloodshed on this planet, and we feel it is enough. We would like to offer a truce. You will allow Cert Energy the space that they have already. And in return, we will offer you a ship. Not quite a Bifrost, but state-of-the-art nonetheless. Big enough for the Afriti people to travel system to system, and also free and open trade with the Galactic Union.
Forgive me for struggling with understanding your language. It's maybe my fourth. But it seems to myself that your offer, as you put it, is displacing us. That is your gift, correct? A ship so we can go somewhere else.
If I am not mistaken, your people, the Afritis, are natural nomads. After some time, you would leave this planet anyway on ships of your own. We are merely offering to allow you to start this and have a wider net. Cert Energy will have this the majority of this planet as a means to help protect and develop the rest of this system and beyond. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Cert Energy is very important for the galaxy as a whole.
I am aware of many businesses' interests in CERT and dependence upon it, yes, which is the reason why you got sent here. Because last I checked, this isn't a war between two civilizations, peoples. This is a company coming to my planet, breaking every single promise they ever made, violating treaty after treaty, taking land after land, cooling this place to an unnatural degree, and now attempting to evict us before this planet's life cycle is complete. I have seen CERT's former planets. I have seen those so-called developments. I have seen dust. So make no mistake, if you wish to compromise after bringing me here under gunned guard, fine. But the compromise will not exclude us from our own home until such time as we decide to leave it.
You have admirability. You have a desire to help and protect. That is one that the Ulfheonar's values. That's part of our creed. But you do not speak for all of the Afriti people. Many of them have agreed to work in Cert Energy facilities and have expressed interest in open trade. We are offering you this.
Out of fear and desperation, may I remind you that due to your cooling of this planet, my sincere apologies, due to Cert Energy's cooling of this planet, many of our normal traditional ways of life have been ruined, and thus our economy is collapsing as we speak. Which a ship, to be honest, will not solve.
But
so,
the open trade deals with the rest of the galaxy will.
And what will we have left to trade without a planet to trade from? Our bodies? What you speak of is a company planet, a prison planet. Yes, I do not speak for all Ifrit people, as Ifrit is the plural. I speak for many, though, more than you. And I see the fear and desperation, knowing our way of life is collapsing, knowing our way of life is ending, no matter what we decide here today. I will not let my people lose what little they have. I cannot.
A planet owned by a single company, I understand you feel is untoward and undesirable. However, many have grown and prospered. Saga, there is the Nert Noir royalty, Glonny in Nidavella, Eli in Nidavella have the same.
Saga, a planet with such a distinct class separation that those on the bottom are never heard from by those up above. Or perhaps you speak of Nos, a planet so ruined that only dust remains on the surface. Oh, I know. I have studied. I have prepared for your certs enterprises. You cannot convince me of your goodwill, because I know you have none. You speak today for a corporation that only exists to gather wealth. Wealth from my planet. The wealth we need to enter the galaxy of our own free will, not beholden to you. Let's be frank. You did not come here. You did not come here to speak honest deal. You came here to make it seem as if you had, so you can go back and tell the rest of your council that they might as well send more battalions to hurt us. So, I will leave you to your warfare, but know that no matter if I win or if I lose, you will lose in the end, Miss Magnolia Cole. Do you know why? Because this is your life now. This is what you'll do. Planet after planet, you will see nothing but death and destruction. And all you will be left with as your legacy is empty promises and lies. And one day, you will wish to be freed from it. Thank you for, honestly, thank you for nothing. Excuse me. And with like an audible groan and cracks of his own body, Azhaam gets up, nods sardonically, and begins to walk out of the room. But before I do, as I turn around, I'd like to do a little sleight of hand, if I may. Because there is a beautiful pistol on Magnolia's hip. And I'd like to take it.
Sure. This is going to be a quite difficult check, but you are welcome to attempt.
Can I argue for a small bonus because I distracted so well?
You can get a small yes, okay. You can get a small bonus because of the I think possibly just the very aura of the room is one where someone wouldn't believe that something like this would happen. You can get a what's the norm? Advantage in this is +2, I believe, rather than a reroll of a dice. So we can say that.
Okay. I naturally have a +7 to sleight of hand.
Love that.
And I did roll a nat 20. So I think altogether that's 29.
Easily able to unclip and take this this pistol out of a holster that she has. It's not on her, I'd say it's a little easier because it's like it's almost hanging on a
Yeah, on the chair between us, right?
yeah, like on a clip next to her rather than being on her person.
I lean over as I say, thank you for nothing. And I begin to turn around. And as I get halfway to the door, I brandish the pistol, shoot the table, and keep walking. It's a signal.
Truly doesn't move. She stays still as the gunshot goes off. The people who the Ulfheonar next to you like raise weapons. Your small team takes them out, Malise firing and taking out a few of them. And as you turn to sprint down the hall, the doors attempt to close behind you, but are stuck on an Ulfheonar body as this firefight is going on. And you turn to see her sat in the same position, unmoving, as you all run, watching you leave. The screens showing temperature, daily events for Cert Energy, some small advertisements, they all shift and flick, following you down the hall, showing your face on a large propaganda poster, you in this angry snarl, and the words "Beware the Firebrand" are posted on the poster.
As we exit, I make a detour to where the energy facilities are kept.
Mm-hmm.
And I overheat them to flames before I finally leave. Firebrand indeed.
As you watch the flames and the smolders and the small amounts of devastation that you and your team have left behind in the firefight, you got out with your team uninjured. But as you watch this scene, the burning and the bodies, we cut back to Nemours. The same flames burn in this cathedral, the bodies strewn. These bodies don't die. The "Beware the Firebrand" posters replaced with "Love the Light." And not sat watching you down the hall, but a large crackle and movement of an elevator far, far off in the distance. You see moving down some new arrivals who you know is now General Magnolia Cole. You all are ferried and hurried away back into the carriage that Aphrodite had taken you around in all day. You can still hear some moans of undying screams in the background as the door shuts, cutting out all of the noise of the outside. The car drives away and arrives at near the cathedral where this firefight went down. Is a large, very regal, ornate mansion. These two gargoyles flank either end as these gates open, and with your small entourage of carriages arrive in. Stops outside of this mansion. Someone, not Samson. Samson was waiting at the cathedral, finishing out the firefight. But another another wellness officer comes and opens up the door to the carriage. I am sorry for the firefight. Please, inside of this mansion is perfectly safe. This is the director's quarters, their house. They live here. They have set up rooms for you already. You will be perfectly safe inside of the manor.
Is this place... Sorry, places like this just tricks my alarm bells all the time. It's a bit... I'm lowering my voice to the rest of the crew. It's a bit, oppressive, right? It's not just me.
It's imposing.
Out of another car door, you hear the exaggerated wails of a of an actress as Venus steps out and is, oh my god, I am so sorry that was the first show of our beautiful city to you all. Thank you. I'm so glad that you are all safe. Hello, hi. We didn't formally introduce ourselves. I'm so sorry. I'm all worked up. But it's so nice to see. It's so nice to meet you all. I'm going to go inside. I hope you are all okay. Is any scratches on anyone? Is everyone good?
Just emotionally, I think.
Oh, you sweet poor thing. Yes. No, it's very intense. It's I do hope that you are all okay.
When were you planning on telling us that?
We didn't think that anything like this would happen. Definitely not during a sermon. Those things are normally very sacred, and people don't do that. This is very new to us. Please don't. I'm sorry. I'm just so worked up at the minute. I understand that you would be too. This is it's a very distressing evening. But don't worry. We have your rooms available, and you have each en suite. And there is we have some charcuteries that will be ready, and some fun games. We'll have a nice night. We are safe inside of here, and we'll get you all situated and fine. I'm so sorry again. I cannot imagine the stress.
I do love a bit of charcuterie and fun games.
Yes, it'll be. It should be fun. Okay, sorry. I'm just so. I'm all out of sorts.
Oh, we've seen worse. Does this happen often? You know, this.
Well, it's been a bit more lately, but normally it's purely, and then there is a hearty cough, and Venus turns. Aphrodite stands prim and proper behind her. Venus, darling, we don't want to be bothering our guests. I understand that this was a little more intense, but please, we will save the descriptions for later. Oh, of course. Okay, thank you. I need a shower after that. She runs in. I do apologize to all of you. That was not the best look on our city. Please come, follow me in. As everyone begins to get out of the car, she turns to Theriac. Founder, I am desperately sorry that this happened whilst you visited, especially on the first day. Things like this are rare, but we understand that people and cities, they're just some troublemakers, some quite bad eggs. I do not want it to disrupt your time here. I apologize.
And I truly don't think my compatriot's question was answered earlier.
Of course.
Compatriot.
We have had some ill some people with ill intent in the Undying Ridges who occasionally, yes, do things which are ill-advised, unbecoming of our city. It doesn't happen a lot, doesn't happen often, and especially not during sermons. I do apologize, Founder, deeply.
Question.
Shan't happen again. Mm-hmm.
Aphrodite answered my question, right? Did she even look at me once when answering it, or was it directly?
No way.
Direct.
Not even a little.
I fucking hate this place.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh,
This place is the most evil place we've been, and that's saying a
That's
lot.
saying a lot.
I just recorded a flashback in an energy company that was destroying my planet, and this is somehow worse.
This is the
Somehow
worst
worse.
place. Yeah.
This is the bad place.
Yes.
I don't think it ever wasn't.
Mm-mm.
And Theriac, please know there are some people who are arriving who are not here to help with this situation, but we are going to organize a meeting to try. I know that you have some Ulfheonar amongst your ranks for protection, and we are calling in. We haven't called in more, but they are coming, and we will ask to help with our little problem here.
Pardon?
There are some Ulfheonar who are on their way. No, they were not called by us. They are coming for unrelated purposes, but much like the blessing of you coming, whilst we have some business that we would like to engage in, we are hoping the same for these visitors of ours.
Why?
Why?
Why are the Ulfheonar coming?
That they have yet to disclose.
Of unanswered questions here today, including the question that my compatriot asked earlier. When were you going to tell us? Give me
Yeah.
a date and a time.
Date and time.
During our meeting later today, we were going to approach the topic. We did not think that there would be any form of attack during your stay. Your stay was just as unannounced. You turned up on our door. If you were to give us more heads up, then perhaps there would have been more decorum when it comes to this. But
I
because
understand.
because we wanted to house you and use, this perchance luck of you arriving here, we wanted to push ahead and, make sure all of this is above board. In our meeting later, there will be questions asked of us too, and I do hope that this does not mean that there will not be a positive relationship between Freyja Incorporated and Wild Times.
I'm terribly sorry, but I think there may be some complications with that.
We'll discuss. I look at Theriac, and it's like I'm warning you not to react emotionally at all, because Azhaam looks scared.
Can I would like to assist in this, not intentionally, but I would like for Theriac and Azhaam probably, because Azhaam did notice this in our last session, that all of this heated growing attention on us, there is a comic book style sweat drop hovering in the corner of Ayg's face. Ayg has been quiet and is looking very aware of her wanted status, of the attention growing, of like the heated moment, and has in this situation, there's nowhere for her to duck or go behind, or there's no curtain. She's just standing there looking more perturbed. So I would like to assist Azhaam in that, in conveying that thought.
I would ask that Theriac and us be given some time alone for a little bit in our room. One of the rooms, so we may debrief with each other and discuss our future plans.
Founder, is this something you would like?
I would quite enjoy that.
Very good. You have the left wing all to yourself. East wing, should I say? Wait. West wing. All to yourself. We do have some rooms available to all of you. You can all stay there. Whilst the directors are here, we would like a meeting. Meeting scheduled more toward the 8 p.m. time, which is about 4 hours from now. So, of course, go in. It's a very stressful time. I appreciate it. Thank you. She walks off. Adonis, the third director, stayed behind at the cathedral and didn't join, but Venus and Aphrodite have both walked inside. And it is you four, Scrap, Keelan, Estrid, and Flair, all arrived earlier. They were not with you at the cathedral when everything went on. They watched it on the TV, so they do know what's going on. But it is just you four at the minute outside. You can imagine that they're all in the West Wing.
We should go. We don't know how many eyes are out here.
I'm wigging out, dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm wigging.
Is there any way for me to tell where Flare is? I assume our magic is similar. Is there any way? Am I able to like kind of sense what room they're in based on that?
You know what? I'm gonna roll me a computers, and I'm gonna roll a computers on Flare, and we're gonna see if you two are connected enough to be able to.
Can I
Okay.
actually assist in this?
Ooh, what are you doing?
Because our rooms would have been assigned, right?
Yeah.
So from a tactician point of view, which room... I think I can determine
Like they would...
which room Aphrodite would love to place an unknown like Flare in compared to someone like Theriac. I think it can like help narrow things down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a 29.
Love that. You get a small ping, like a thread that you can see, a very familiar thread. It is shaky and doesn't quite hold, but you can see that it's like he is in the West Wing sleeping quarters. The tactician, do you want to roll me a tactician to see where people would be placed?
It's been a bit since I've rolled this, y'all.
I like tactician, that's cool.
That's another natural 20.
There we go.
So
There
it's a
we
30.
go. Aphrodite said you had the West Wing. You would know that your party would already be there. Theriac would have the like master bedroom. If there was a big, like, she also did say that you all had en suites. But Theriac would probably have a like the fucking room. It's like an apartment you can imagine, which would be revealed as you walk in.
Yo, what's an ensuite?
It's got a bathroom attached.
Like in the hotel room?
Yeah, most hotel rooms have en suites. Hold on, I think Flare would probably be somewhere, well, probably very exposed because I doubt and Aphrodite would care for For reverse safety, yep. Route about here, and like I gently
Here.
push open the door.
Going into the into this west wing, it is this red carpeted, these like vases with a small hovering bot that is trimming them, trimming down a lot of the petals. The petals seem all fine, but they are cutting stems, and anyone who knows any form of botany knows they're doing a very weird job of what they're doing. Making sure that they like hoover up all of the petals and cut leaves. These flowers in these very kitschy, ornate, like well-designed vases. Big, large mural pictures on the walls with landscapes, and some depicting this like beautiful machinery painted on canvas, and some art of what looks like an artist's interpretation of what New Moors is. This like dark, cold outside with this like beautiful sphere, and inside of this sphere with this life and love, and this colorful, and it's nice and it's alive. Inside of that sphere is another smaller one. Bright white streaks of white paint fly off, and almost like this sun is illuminating all of New Moors. There's paintings like that. Azhaam, you push open the door, and you see a room which is modest, not bad. It is nicely sized, has a bed, a TV in it, a small like holodeck communicator that you can use to if you understand people's number, you type in a number, sit on a chair, and then the other person responds like like you are sitting across from each other, but it would be a hologram that is created in front of you. Chandelier, big, thick, heavy red curtains, and there is Flair, has the cupboard open and is like pulling out clothes, seemingly trying to look for something to change into, since their clothes are ragged and still have a hole in it from when they were skewered in the leg from the crashing at the Patchwork. Here's the door open. Head whips, turns to you, breathes a big heavy sigh of relief. Oh, hey. So, I saw what happened on the TV.
Yeah, hold up. Before we start, can I just do a little look around the room for any like bugs or security cameras?
Sure. Let's have, if you're looking, give me a I believe perception is a thing. Yes.
Can I assist?
You can assist. You can assist, do your own roll if you
Can
like.
we can all kind of look a little bit.
If you would like, everyone can make their own.
Got it.
I will say, if everyone's making a like full roll, I will take it as the team like leaves this room and has a look around different places in the West Wing, which might end up being a little obvious that you're trying to look for stuff, but you can absolutely all do it. And unless anyone rolls absolutely dog shite. This will be a perception. This is perception.
14.
17.
9.
31.
Nice.
Great.
Very good.
That's ridiculous.
Aside from... So, everyone gets the cleaning robot that's outside probably has some form of tracking in it. It has like it's remote controlled, so it would have a chip telling people where it is, but also has like a sensor camera on it, which people can use to see where people have been. There are a few of these as you were walking through the main hallway, these two large staircases going up connecting to a second floor, and then you quickly went off into the west wing. You would have seen a few of these minor cleaning bots around. A thing that Azhaam would notice, the TV, the holo communicator, and probably a few other minor electrical items in the room have the ability to, like, search a person's history. They can, it's like, oh, sign up and you can get, you know, XYZ, and you sign up and it reads your email address and it will sell it to other people. It will, you have it, like, just by flicking through the TV, it kind of has an imprint of what you like and what you're doing and your time. And the TV has this, like, very, very slight swivel on it, where if you move to another end of the room, it will turn to make sure that you're always at the perfect angle, and that too counts as a camera.
I just pointed I'm like, camera, ability to monitor you, camera, audio. I just go through the list.
I would like to try to take care of one thing. And that is the cleaning bot that is outside, that is likely recording and listening in. I think I would like to see if Verpal can, like, hang out by the door and just, like, give off static, like almost like a noise, you know, like when you go to therapy and they put, like, the little noise thing outside the door, like that kind of a thing, but electronically.
Sure. All right.
Just like a base little, like, just Verpal giving off electricity.
Yeah, absolutely. What does Verpal count under? Is it a pet or a...
Verpal is a glitch gremlin. That is a real thing. I didn't make it up.
Hell. All right. Let me have a little look for glitch gremlins and what these little guys can do. Yeah.
You know, there's a song by Boss Fight called Glitch Gremlin, as it turns out.
Is there? It's a creature companion. The creature companion type is glitch gremlin.
Okay. Yes, then I will allow Verpal to do this. You make me a make me a computers. You specifically a computers.
Yep.
And then I'll count
Okay.
Also,
doing the same.
I'm looking at the official, like, Paizo art,
which is for glitch gremlins. It's very different.
Very different.
Oh my god!
Like a little imp.
Oh
yeah. It's a 19 base roll, so that is a 31.
Okay. Yeah. You although you can't see it, you see all these different threads, which I imagine, I don't think we ever described, but I've always imagined Ayg's threads being almost like
yarn.
Like that, yeah, big thick pieces of yarn.
Big thick pieces of yarn that Ayg sees floating around in the sky. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. I imagine you can see all of the ones that connect to Verpal. There's a point when they begin to disappear, as if they are causing the static of they are causing static to robotic things, to, like, blocking out this space. If there was a cleaning robot inside of the room, it would be able to see, but at the doorway, if anything tries to look inside that is robotic in nature, it probably wouldn't be able to see it, aside from, like, androids who have super advanced sight. General, generic machines would be able to look inside.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, little verbal, just, you know, just disruptive enough, at least for that little Roman thing out there.
Is it possible to like lock down my ensuite? Can I roll like a computers or an engineering or something? So if there's any sort of monitoring crap, so we have a spot to talk.
As in, like, completely disable everything.
Is it possible?
It probably would be possible. I tell you what. Going toward, like, so you leave and try to find your own room. On walking in, actually, even just before you open it, you see that your door is just like a little ajar before you go in, and you hear, like, very minor quiet sparks and some machinery being moved around. As you slowly open the door, you see wires of the TV at the back have been pulled out and are like going down to a chair that is leant up against the wall, and you see Scrap, who is already like fully like disabling all of like any form of watchable tech in the room. Sees you, puts it down, is like, are you okay? I saw what happened on the TV.
You unplugging my room, dude?
I've only just started. I want to eventually go round and unplug everyone's room. Are you
Eventually,
okay?
did you
Are you
do
okay?
my room first?
Yeah. Are you fine?
No. That was a lot.
So, the people can't die here?
Let's get everybody else. Yo, have you unbugged the place? Let's get everybody else in here.
Yeah. It's like the room is, if any full member of staff walked in on this room, they would call like every authority that there is, because it's fully like there are wires hanging from everything. It looks fully trashed, but there are no bugs in this room so far. Like, okay, yeah, you get the others. I'll get Estrid and Keelan. You go, and then gathering everyone around. So everyone gathers into Skye's room that is like shit off the wall, like a bit of a mess. There is the smell of like a burning wire. Verpal gets to the door and then does the same move again, makes it static so nothing can look in. Scrap seems a little bit more frantic than you've seen them before. Flair is seemingly quite calm. Keelan is pacing, and Estrid is feet up on the table. Well, that's a lot, huh? I've always heard stories of New Moors. No idea that it was this fucked up. Yeah, so you are fine, right?
Like physically?
Do you mean by
Fine.
fine?
Yeah. Physically fine. There was a firefight right next to you. You're all okay?
Okay, good question.
do anything
Raise
to
your
you?
hand if you're injured. I go.
All right. We were able to see the first part of the sermon, but then as soon as someone got up and started screaming, we saw a grenade being chucked, and then everything cut out, and only to be reported on the news afterward. So we heard what happened.
Right. Well, you heard the first part.
We heard the
of
first
what
part, and
happened
we
to
also
you.
know that people can't die as well. That is something
Oh,
that
okay,
we did
okay,
get,
okay,
because
okay.
the
Great.
news said that there were, yeah.
Can I tell you all something? Well, so sometimes I can, hear people's thoughts a little bit. Just a little tiny message.
What do you
Just-
mean?
Wait,
I thought that was just for robots and stuff. Like
no,
computers.
sometimes it's like brainwaves or
You
electricity.
can do
and
that?
I can hear a little bit of and I can send a little message and hear one back, and well, I just thought it was strange what those folks were yelling about, and I didn't want to jump to conclusions that they were doing something bad. So I tried to listen in and find out what was happening. And, what I heard, they're so committed to fighting what is happening here. I heard them screaming in my head for about 10 minutes or so until I lost the connection. And, they were dead. They should, in all intents and purposes, they would have been dead from what happened. But it's not just Newmore's, it's not just the state of being here. People took them to make them stay alive. I think that the people who started that protest, I think they're still alive somewhere right now. And I think that they probably have more information about what's going on here than we can ascertain from anything these people are gonna tell us.
Our goal is what is in the center of this place, and I feel like if we do take it, it crumbles. So we need to decide what we want to do here. Because if we want to break this city, it will take a lot of work.
Yeah, the whole city?
We could also just try and steal the crystal and leave.
Stealing the crystal and leaving already feels kind of impossible. You want to break the whole city with, like, what, 8 people?
It could be a bit more reliable. No, not with 8 people, I think.
We're
Theriac,
not.
you have this far off look in your eyes. I feel like I should be asking if you're okay.
I am frankly horrified. There are many people who would fall back on the wretched excuse of things being quote unquote unnatural for certain reasons. This is despicably unnatural. The screaming that you heard, I can only assume, is the fact that these people are in the midst of excruciating pain constantly. There is constant healing, which means it just gets injured again, to my understanding. If this is the same sort of affliction that the Baron carries, then it must be extremely difficult for them to reach death outside of this place. I fear us taking the crystal would kill everyone.
You think they're so interested in you?
Wretched.
What this place is a mockery of scientific endeavor in a similar but different way to what Wild Times was. I imagine that they see, thanks to Wild Times' history, this kind of exploitation being not too far off from what you stand for. Guy, your hand's raised.
I can wait.
I am also just personally angry at Venus for basically implying that we have known each other for a long time, and that's just an extremely shitty thing to do, professionally or not.
She implied that you are part of this somehow.
Exactly. Now I'm culpable of this.
Forgive me, Theriac, but you could be.
I understand that, but
I don't know. How old is Numors? Like when was this city founded?
Wouldn't I know this because I have studied this planet before?
Yes, you can give me a culture.
Absolutely. I can reduce the DC of culture checks to recall knowledge about criminal elements, incidents of corruption, and penal institutions by 5. I figure this counts as one of those.
Yeah, it's one of them,
At the very least.
All right.
At the least.
Unfortunately, that is only a 15. Just hoping knocking down the difficulty by 5 helps.
Although you don't know exactly how old it is, you would notice that most people in New Moors are human, seemingly human, and it has been, a city for at least 500 years.
This place has been a city for at least 500 years, but with... Wild Times as a company was not always operated by Theriac and by Mr. Wild, right? It was owned by... There was a board, which means that board may have made certain deals we're not aware of.
Yeah, but it was a upper deckers resort before that. It had nothing to do with animal conservation, as far as I'm aware. Theriac, I might be wrong.
It had to do with animal exploitation, and look around you. Think there's a lot of exploitation happening here.
Maybe it's not that they were involved together. Maybe they
Wish to be?
want that to use Wild Times technology somehow here.
They did seem pretty bummed when Theriac implied that business was a no-go.
Which... If you wish to stand with these people who we do not know and fight back against this place, I do have an idea, but it would take us all stomaching some things we'd rather not.
Fuck yeah.
I am, of course, into hearing the idea, but we don't know anything about this place or its people. There's clearly some form of faction, group of people who are against it, and I don't think that this is a place for us. The crystal is, of course, nice, and I understand that you all want it for whatever reason, but it will, from what we have discussed, kill an entire city. Which,
we don't know that.
If we are not already on every hit list imaginable, it will put us on every hit list imaginable.
Well, okay, that brings up a good point, because I am currently so disturbed by the idea of people who are wanting life to be over and are being forced to stay alive. That is terrible. But I assume there are people here who are quite happy to be alive, and if taking the crystal would harm them all, I don't think that's a good idea either. But I don't know.
Forgive me.
It's okay.
I feel like what we need to do is perhaps learn more in totality, but I do have an idea. Because I think Skye's right. It's 8 of us.
Skye's right?
Yeah, you're right. A full frontal assault with 8. Even 8 plus who knows how many of those survivors are, still wouldn't be enough. Which means we may have to try a different approach.
What's your plan?
I don't have a plan. I just have an idea. I think we need to learn more about this place, and I do think that those three pretty people don't seem to like each other very much.
I
All
understand.
right. Well, if we want to learn more about this place, Skye, Flare, Estrid, do you want to go out for like a scouting mission tonight?
You know
Did you
I'm
just
already there.
You mean... Wait, hold on. Sorry, Mama, you might want to retake that line because you did say Skye, Flare, and Estrid.
Me, Flare, and Skye.
I think you just third person.
Yeah. Skye's now third personing herself,
Yeah.
but I like that.
All right. Well, if we need someone to go explore the city, Flare, Estrid, and I will go on a scouting mission tonight.
I think that's a grand idea. I also think that Venus has taken a special interest in you.
Who hasn't?
That's,
It's not my fault. I'm a
course, look at
natural-born entertainer.
Jesus,
But that's
pretty as a peach.
my-
Of course they're gonna.
My point, if you could get in Venus's good graces, maybe say you were inspired by her, you could probably get her view on the situation, and you could possibly poison the well, I believe the term is.
Why am
Yes,
I the one
yes.
that has to get in her good graces when I'm already in her bad graces? And frankly, I did absolutely nothing wrong.
Venus is an artist. Artists have spats all the time, but they recognize other artists.
For a moment, I think we all forgot I'm just pretending to be an artist. Have we forgotten
Sing,
that?
Skye.
Well,
I
actually,
don't know. I
that makes
think
you
you
an,
have
that makes you an
potential.
actor, which is an artist.
and the first time we met, you did a tight 5, so
I did. Well, I'm just
And
funny.
you are a comedian, yes.
And I've also heard you sing in the shower. And you're pretty good.
No, that's Scrap.
I am very
What?
good in the shower. Yeah, I have
Are
a.
you a tenor?
I'm a tenor. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
We've established. I just do drum beats.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not
In
the
any case.
patchwork. A lot of people think that's the patchwork acting up, but that's actually just Skye.
Yeah, sure.
That's why you may have noticed when you first got on the Patchwork, we have a "It's been 0 days since Skye has last beatbox" sign. You know,
Who put
Well-
that up?
Scrap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Skye, I
Right.
still think your best insight into Venus in the same way I think Theriac is our best insight into Aphrodite.
Yes, we are. I do not believe that will be difficult. I need
They
to.
want to meet with you, it seems.
Yes. I mean, I feel like we are the two kind of representatives for each of our respective groups, you know. I think I was upset earlier, but I was very intentionally like trying to put them on edge by saying I would not do, I may not do business with them, to have sort of an upper hand in the deal making in the future. So,
Aphrodite already snapped at Venus, and I'm pretty sure has no kind thoughts to spare about Adonis. Maybe the easiest one to... If we get all three heads turned against each other, we could... We may see the city fall without our direct involvement. Yes,
Skye?
Skye.
If the goal is to get them to all go against each other, why? I don't think I should be going for Venus. I think I should be going for one of her best friends and make her super jealous because she's already super jealous. So how jealous is she going to be if like one of them like me better than her, which should be no problem.
Not a bad idea. I would
reminds
suggest-
me, who was, what, I did not get a long time with Adonis. Is he a security personnel?
You
Bouncer?
think military-minded, strong fighting background, trained in a couple arts, martial.
He
Bit of a hothead.
seems, yeah, he seems a
So
bit
definitely Ayg.
definitely Ayg. Yeah.
Sorry.
Flair at the mention of Adonis kind of puts their hand up. They also kind of do like self-help things. On the elevator down, I was flicking through some and I watched some. It's just kind of like a, you know, better help you, you know, get through life and stuff. It didn't seem bad.
Can I dibs Adonis then? Because I don't know shit about business, but I am a broken person.
By all means.
Yeah, that could work. It seemed a bit more geared toward masculine people, like you know, kind of get the girl. If you want to do that, you got to clean your room and stuff.
Clean your room?
In your room. They 13?
That's how you don't get the girl to leave.
Yeah, no. I mean, but it's like that seems kind of his gambit. I think he did some fighting before. I don't know.
If Skye wants to take Adonis, I feel it might be a bit difficult, but I'm down for it. I think it's a good idea.
I mean, we also got Flair with us.
True.
Young, impressionable male.
Which leaves Venus.
I mean, all right. This isn't nothing to do with Venus. If we wanna do the end goal, I think that Ayg should go and try and find out what the deal with the crystal is, how to get it.
I'm inclined to agree. I say
I can help her do that. Like, I mean, the pair of us going together, I feel like...
Okay, so I don't have to go alone. Thank you. Great. Good.
Well, everyone else seems to have, like, a bit. Like, I think finding out what the deal with the crystal is, if we can get up... I mean, we believe it's in the sun. I know that.
No,
but how to get in?
I've seen it. The heat field surrounding it is... It's not... From the way you describe the light field around it, it's a bit more calculated. It's possible to... It's there. I know it's there.
Well, there you go.
You think I could talk to that one?
Maybe, but we'd have to get Ayg close, and I don't want to risk it until...
It seems to be like a pretty high up.
Well, the other thing we should probably keep an eye out for is the Ulfheonar that are coming. I assume...
Yeah.
Because they are coming for you, Ayg.
What? If anything, wouldn't that be good for Ayg? Because the Void are criminals. The Void are the one looking for Ayg. So if they hear that this place is going to be swimming with Ulfheonar, wouldn't it deter them from coming here?
The meaning that the Void doesn't work with Ulfheonar?
Oh, hell no.
They definitely don't.
No.
As far
okay,
as,
good.
That's like
as far
actually...
as I'm aware, and I know a lot about the inner workings of the Void, they don't really touch.
I didn't know that. So
honestly,
I definitely thought they were here for me.
No, yeah, I think honestly, number one unwritten rule of the Void: don't talk to Ulfheonar.
Okay, all right. Buying a little time then.
If anyone is attracting their attention, it's probably me. But they wouldn't know I had They wouldn't even know I came here.
No, they were here before we got scanned in.
Yeah, but how many Ifrit have we seen on this journey at all? We've seen you and that one Ulfheonar.
Have they seen you?
They haven't seen me yet, no.
Okay.
What of your,
Partner?
previous companion?
They haven't seen me yet.
You saw them.
I was in the light, and they were not.
Well, I want to be clear. Our plan is to have them turn against each other, and then distract them with an interior conflict. Yes. What happens post-conflict?
We provide, or should I say, Ayg and Scrap provide the survivors with the ability to get in close. It should be up to the people who... Yes, Skye.
So, theoretically, if we left this place, life would just pick up as normal. Eventually, we would die, right? So, wouldn't it make sense for everybody that didn't want that to just be able to leave? Have we considered the possibility that we might be stuck here? Like, are they keeping people here?
They definitely are.
So
That
are
much is
we
good.
going to be able to go?
The amount of skeletons that were outside of the city walls, people can get out. It's not unusual for people to get out.
It was all, but it's not planned. The elevator on the way up, it sped 8, 9, 10 times faster than it should because it's used to not having people on it. This place is not meant to be a place one returns from. I think we could do it. I think many have. I know many have. The Baron did, but it isn't built for it. So yes, there is something keeping people here. That much is certain.
I appreciate the get up and go. Us all wanting to have all of the directors turn against each other, and then that to conclude in the collapse of this city. But there are a small squad of Heth coming down that elevator, which will be arriving in a few hours. On top of that, there are 2 runaway Heth and one of the Heth's most sought after enemies. What are we doing with that? This city is huge. No one seems to be attempting to escape. Everyone went into that sermon except for the 5 that rebelled against. What if the city turns against us? What if these people have been... These are humans who've been alive for over 500 years at this point. I mean, that blood isn't hard to break. What if they decide to not do it, and then we are all fucked in a different way?
Keelan, with any luck, they won't suspect us of anything at all. This isn't the one where we show our hands, and as far as the Ulfheonar, I propose we let them have something we think they want.
Skye.
Azhaam, aren't you like fine? Didn't you just get out of prison? Didn't you do your time? I thought at the most it would just be like awkward if you walked into the same pub or something.
Magnolia, we're not fans. Last time we had a true conversation, she was locking me up, and the time before that, I was threatening her. But
so you
you're
are
right.
just scared that you're gonna fight each other when you see each other.
No. I'm scared she won't listen to reason. I'm saying that we give her something we think she wants. And I would not dare suggest Flair or Keelan.
No. Oh my goodness, no.
If I head her off, I can talk to her. Convince her to maybe not. Figure out what her intentions are, and hopefully convince her not to throw us into a firefight. And if I cannot convince her, I can convince the other one, I think.
That's
Maybe. I don't know.
Assuming that she would receive you at all, correct?
She's coming down the elevator. I know exactly where she'll be.
Azhaam, I will also say that you were put away for life, but got a weird, slate wiped leave.
Oh, that's right.
So it's not
Mhm.
necessarily that it's like, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be like an amicable if you got caught or spotted. I
You're
know that-
very correct. I know that.
I know that you know. I just wanted to remind you.
No, but I'm just. I know that, and you know that, and the players know that. I'm suggesting that maybe Scrap, Skye, Ayg, and Theriac do not.
No, we wouldn't know
Yes,
that.
no, of course they don't. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same playing field.
Yeah.
And by
Mhm.
everyone, I mean the pair of us. Okay. Sure. But I have a, you know, again, not to, you know, be too much of a Debbie Downer, but we don't know what. Okay. When we were being driven here, all we saw were beautiful, smiling people. We saw people who seemed young and were happy in some regard. Now, we know that there is a part of the city that isn't that. But then also we saw people who had healed wrong. We saw people that, I mean, we didn't, but I know that it happened. People who were blown up and still living. What happens to them? I think surely we need to go find that before
Which is
we
why
enact anything.
Skye and Scrap are doing exactly that. All we're doing right now is getting into the ears of two of these free lieutenants. Lieutenants? Lieutenant? Which one do you use again? I forget.
I think
It changes via what command it is.
I hate that.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We have more information to find out. Theriac, they want something from you, and we don't understand what it is. Skye and Flare, we and company kids.
All right.
We
Thank you for that.
we
I
want to
appreciate it.
figure. Yes, well, we want to find out more about this place, and we haven't seen most of the city. And I don't know what this crystal is like or how it's different from the one that we've seen. And Azhaam, we don't know why the Ulfheonar are here. I feel like we have a lot of good ideas on what to do in the big picture, but we're missing some puzzle pieces first. So maybe we just need to figure out the answers to all those things, and then the plan at large will make more sense.
No, I agree. Right now, just
Okay.
build camaraderie with these people.
Hmm.
That's all that's important. And once we have it, if we wish to use it, we can. Skye.
I was basically just going to say, yeah, that proposition tonight, phase 1 of Operation Break the City. We're just going to gather information.
That's a good name.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah,
thought
Break the City
you
is
know,
cool.
We got to hand it to his own. But Theriac goes to who's the one with the longer name?
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Theriac goes to Aphrodite. Ayg goes to maybe Ayg goes to Venus.
I think if we can get Ayg and Scrap to visa.
Yeah.
Oh, Ayg and Scrap's are on crystal duty.
On crystal duty.
Still duty.
Yeah.
Ayg and Scrap are on crystal duty. Teens, we're gonna go to Adonis.
yeah.
Who's left out of that?
Oh wait, no. I thought that we were gonna go scout out the like lower area of the city. I thought that was our job.
All right, we'll do that. Azhaam, you want to talk to Adonis?
No. Adonis wouldn't like me very much. Keelan, why don't you take Estrid and scope the lower city while Flare and Skye focus on Adonis? That way we covers my bases, and
Hate that plan.
I take a look for what the Ulfheonar are doing.
No.
I think that's
Teens
reasonable.
gotta stick together. No, I refuse. Teens are sticking together.
Keelan,
I am into that. I think okay. Azhaam, I believe showing our hand that we are here too early will be a mistake.
I
Possibly
have no
not being here
intention-
when the Ulfheonar arrive. Not being here, I think, is the
I have
primary.
no intention of showing too many hands just yet. Rest assured, I know what I'm doing. And believe it or not, I do know how to keep a secret. So, if my hand is shown, yours certainly will not be. Neither will Flair's. After all, they have no idea who the hell I work with these days. Right?
Okay. So,
For all intents and purposes, you work for me.
For now.
For now.
So, Theriac has this meeting. I imagine the 3 directors will be at that meeting, since
Sure.
it's a company-wide thing. During that time, Skye, Flare, you 2 go.
And Estrid.
All right. Teen Team goes
Teen
to...
Teen!
Teen Team... Okay. So, Teen Team goes to whichever the low part of town is and figure... And try to find something.
Yeah, we'll probably check out some like heavily crowded areas, get a scope of the culture here, you know, like clubs, bars,
No
All right.
underage.
hookah
activity.
lounges.
Is everyone
No.
over 18 in Teen Team? Is it like late Teen Team? Flare, we don't know how old you are. I don't know how old we are. Estrid, I ain't telling you how old I am, so. Alright, Skye, how old are you? How old are you, Skye?
17.
Alright, well, we can't be going to clubs in 17.
Just please be responsible, respectable. Keep your wits about you, so do not take anything that would, I don't know, eliminate those wits.
Don't take any space drugs, I think is a good idea.
That you don't know.
Skye, we'll be able to tell the moment you walk through a door.
Will you?
Yeah.
Okay. Late Teen Team, do that. Theriac, you're going to have the meeting with the directors.
Yes.
Ayg, Scrap, find the crystal, which is Crystal Rats. Is your team named the Crystal Rats?
The crystal rat.
I like the Crystal Rats.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Crystal Rats. The Crystal
Yeah.
Rats. Crystal Rats will go find out about the crystal. Azhaam, would you like to team up on this? We can do the Ulfheonar thing together, if you want. If not, I would like to go find out more about this group. So I'm just going to go to a bar and talk.
I think it's a great idea. Go to a bar, get more information. The more
Alright.
information we have, the better. And I can take care of myself.
Before we go, at this meeting with the directors, should I already trying to be kind of pawning them against each other? I have an idea as far as stating that Aphrodite is not necessarily culpable for what happened, but that Adonis's lack of security and Venus's hasty mentioning of my name are serious detriments to like any sort of business propositions that may occur in the future. Do you think
Nope.
that is reasonable, or do you think it should just be between me and Aphrodite privately that I stay?
I would suggest between you and Aphrodite privately, because right now we don't want them to see that we're the cause
I
of these
understand.
rumors. In addition, trust your instincts. Get a chance to suss each one of them out. See if they already talk against each other in the room, and do nothing to stop it if it does occur. Afterward, that's when you start twisting the knobs. It's a difficult task to do this. I've done it before. It doesn't work all the time. So just keep your wits about you. Keep whoever you're trying to be in place, and remember who you actually are. In Theriac, most important thing you can be in that meeting room is swayable. They want to use you. Let them think you are up for sale.
Understood.
Okay. We have our jobs. Hands in the middle.
Oh, our newer friends aren't acquainted with this, but we say salad time. When
We still
it's
do that.
time for a plan.
Oh yeah, it's like
Alright.
it'll be like when we're all apart on our communicators, it'll be like a code red. Like shit's going south, we'll be like, it's salad time.
Okay, but
Yeah,
salad time is
salad-
also like a call to action, like salad time, let's go. But outside of this,
We're also
it's
like, oh shit.
it's
It's
bad
very
salad time.
versatile.
I
It's
thought
like, oh my
salad
god,
time
you
was
know?
like, we eat salad now.
Sometimes it's that.
It's
It
like
has been
fuck.
co-opted.
You can use it excitedly as an insult. It's got so many uses.
It's very vibes based. Like you gotta know
Very
what the
vibes-based.
situation is and the tone of the voice. Yeah.
It's a lot of intonation.
It's
yes.
like fuck.
All right. Very much so. Hands in the middle. Salad time on 3.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Salad time.
Salad time.
Time.
After your team break of salad time, there's a small amount of time where some people go off to their rooms, the team generally chats, readying themselves for what is to be the next little while. There is a knock at the door. The voice at your end, you all recognize as Samson, who was Aphrodite's right hand, or assigned wellness officer, should we say? Founder Theriac, it's time for you to meet with the directors.
Yes, I will be right out. Thank you.
You hear heavy footsteps walk away down the hall.
We'll open the door, but in the way of like, please don't look inside my room. And just like squeezes out. Themselves off. And we'll head towards the meeting place. Definitely trying to keep the objectives in mind, and specifically Azhaam's kind of bullet points for like what to keep in mind. So yes.
You walk out of your assigned west wing and into the main corridor. These 2 very beautiful staircases arch around a door that leads into this meeting room, and these staircases are up to an upper landing that goes off into the rest of the manor. There are these small cleaning robots, but also bots that walk around like waiters and butlers and are carrying food to the kitchen, is what you can imagine, which you can smell food coming from it. Your stomach gurgles a little, but not out of hunger, just out of that like, oof, could I eat? I don't know. You see Samson, who is stood to the side of the door going into the meeting room. He gives you a nod as he spots you in the hall. The others are waiting for you.
Thank you. And well, does Samson look like, what can I do with like a sense motive?
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
Okay. Bleh. Sense motive?
Yeah.
Is it 22?
Oh, very nice. What is it that you're trying to sense?
I'm trying to sense what is his like nervousness level? Like, does he seem stressed? Is he kind of caught up in a lot of the kind of politique of it all? You know?
He doesn't seem like he's caught up in the politics, but he does seem like he has something else on his mind. he had to stay behind to clear up, and has returned. There is no blood on him. He just looks like a little agitated, but in the way that a man who's just seen some form of combat would be a little agitated, and then had to clean up after, presumably.
Yeesh. That's rough, buddy. But yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna regard him and then advance forward into the
Grand.
the beautiful meeting room.
Beautiful. And you're right, it is beautiful.
Good.
This very nice, lush carpet, this long carved wood table that can seat up to, you imagine, 15, 16 people. Across the walls are plants and pictures, again paintings, but also almost like holographic, like newspaper screenshots of the of Freyja Incorporated, as well as pictures with different founders. There is one with the founder of Bury Mining, which is dated years ago. There's ones with Cert Energy. There's Hermoid Tech. There's one which you have heard of, but you didn't. But you haven't actually know much about. Whose name I need to just Google really quick because it's hard to pronounce.
Hey, Matt, I promise you it's okay.
I know.
Matt.
I know it. It's Ulfheonar. Ulfheonar.
Ulfheonar. Hey, Matt.
Yeah?
Guess what?
What?
I love you. I kissed. It didn't go through through Discord, but you'll hear it in the audio.
Yes. Thank you. The Ulfheonar picture, although the three directors who are also in the picture, they look very young as they are. Their age is slightly indeterminate, but they all look fairly young. You can guess mid to early 30s at the most. In this picture, they look way younger. They're early 20s. They all have a bit more spring in their step with that company. The three of them actually in the room are at the end of this carved wooden table. They sit Aphrodite at the head, and flanking each of her sides are Venus and Adonis. Aphrodite stands when you enter, and as she does, the other two follow. Founder, thank you so much for joining us. I know we've had quite a big day, so it's very nice to it's very nice for you to come here, and we can get some business on the road. Please feel free to take a seat. She gestures to any chair in the room.
Thank you. Well, sits at the table. Rust.
She reaches out her hand and places it on the table. This hard light interface comes out, and she clicks a few buttons, and you see a small speaker almost in the middle of the table come up, and then a red light start blinking, almost like this meeting is being recorded for minutes. Now, just to do some introductions, my name is Aphrodite, and she, her. It's very nice for you all to come. We are meeting with founder Theriac of Wild Times, and we have just a small impromptu business meeting. She gestures to her left. Yeah, Adonis starts. Yeah, Adonis, yeah, it's nice. It's good to be here. She then, Aphrodite then gestures to her other side. Hello, my name's Venus. It's so nice to be here. They for me. Yes, it's wonderful. And then all three of them turn expectantly to you.
My name is Theriac, Dr. Theriac. My pronouns are they, them.
On you saying they, them, Venus does a little like, ooh, and then a little clap to herself. Right.
I don't like that.
We are in a city of bad.
We got one.
We got one.
You've completed our collection.
Yeah, it's got collector energy.
Very good.
I also wanted to say, the way that Venus introduced herself, she was like, "Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm here for another unboxing video." It definitely had that kind of energy.
Right. So this meeting was, of course, as we all know, it wasn't something that we had planned for, but joyous nonetheless. Theriac, I want to extend my most sincere apologies for what happened earlier at the cathedral. That it was a dreadful show of what our city is. But in some way, it is a show of almost why we've asked you to be here. We know a little bit about your work at Wild Times and the events and the things that you do when it comes to the animals. And there's no point beating around the bush now, since you already know and was shown firsthand that the light above this thing that we have created, it has given us all the gift of undeath, which is an absolutely fantastic gift that humanity in their short lifespan has. And
Wait, hold on. Not immortality. Undeath? Are they dead?
well, they're not undead, but they can't die, so undeath.
Okay. Okay.
And this is marvelous, truly a magical thing. However, we have some unforeseen and quite, upsetting. There is a new level of upsetting realization after we personally can't die. It is the fact that we are now living so long that there inevitably is people that we know, and we can't people who we know who do pass on other planets outside of the city. And also, I'm not sure if you're aware, but when we pass outside of the light, outside of the walls of this city, time has shown to catch up to us. So we are, as beautiful and perfect as our city is, unfortunately, we are unable to experience the rest of the galaxy. You have such a fine understanding of the organics and the motorifics of how organic life thrives and grows. And what we would like to suggest is building a facility that is connected to New Moors, that it will be run in-house or by yourself if you desire, that we can have to serve as research into the light and how we can have it be carried with us. If we can leave the city with it, if there is a way, ultimately a way for, if something tragic happens, we can... All right, well, I'll cut to the chase. We need a way to not only, now we've conquered the ability to live forever, we need a way to bring things back. We don't know if it will be people or animals, but a way to have, after something dies, bringing them back into the light doesn't work in the same way. It doesn't make them come back, and we are looking for a way to do that. We know that the things that you do, is cool and all, but that's our goal, is to have things come back.
Okay. So, a lot of this hinges on this light, yes? The light is the source of the undeath, as you call it.
Well, yes. When we started this project, we didn't know that this is what it would become. Originally, we thought that, we were all in business, but it wasn't something that was our passion, that drove us. And we found a way that could... There was this old company that was looking into, extending life. And that was so cool. It was a company that was on Saga, and it got, broken up. And we found their research, and we wanted to, work with it to extend our lives a little.
What was the name of the company?
It was Set or Unmentioned was the name of the company. They were looking into continued life, extended, changing biology of people, and it was so... It was so unique, and unfortunately, they weren't a good company. It got taken down by some people who were fighting the plates originally. So that company got broken up, and then it got bought by another company that turned into Bury Mining. And then after that, we found it, and we made it originally to extend life, as Adonis was saying. And then it turned out that we can't die, and now we need a way to move outside and bring things back.
So, your plan is to create an extension of this facility by trying to emulate the lights
Influence.
I don't
in a way.
I do not like that word, influence. Metaphysical properties.
Of course.
Influence indicates motive. And we cannot assume such things at this time.
When we built, the machine, the ore that we use to power the machine, it's not ore really. It's more of a catalyst. The catalyst to the machine that helps, all of us go, and has been up for how long have we been here? About 950 years at this point. The catalyst we've been using for that long, but that catalyst, when it was in the ground before we discovered it, it created this offset of ore that is only found on Nos, this thing called Turinium ore. We've sent people outside of Nemours to find it, because it has similar properties to the crystal, it just doesn't last nearly as long. So we were hoping that with some checkings and experimentations, we have a facility that you can be attached to, the facility of Sommon, if you want to, where we have people who kind of desire this ability to come back, to rebuild their own bodies. And that's where we need you to come in.
I understand that my skill set is desirable for the plans that you have and the wishes that to go beyond simply this location. I understand that full well. If you are looking for me specifically, I am still beholden to Wild Times. That is my company that I run personally myself. It will. I'm not saying it is impossible, but I am saying that it will take a great amount of cajoling, something to make leaving Wild Times as its own separate entity to be run by another person feasible. And I'm certain Mr. Wild will be able to handle himself perfectly fine, but that is a business that is directly linked to me in my studies.
Absolutely. And we understand, we really do. And we know that, you've had such a dreadful few months when it comes to Wild Times, with your board members passing, that there is definitely not enough staff and people, because I believe we've reached out for this before, but I don't believe the board members went for it. But I do know that there are other people who reached out who the board members were a bit more willing to speak to, and I know that it's a hard time for you, and I know that it feels like the world's on your shoulders, and if there's anything we can do to help, we do have a lot of knowledge. Each one of us has so much time. We all work in mechanics. We have people in Somnum who are brilliant masterminds at this, and we would fund the expedition. Down here, we don't use credits, but we know the rest of the galaxy do, so we do have a small windfall. If you would like, we can give you almost a blank check to try and figure this out.
Sure. I apologize. I'm still trying to recover from today's early events. Theriac is definitely trying to exude the fact that they are they want to portray that they are possibly willing to, but because of what happened today specifically, that completely butchered any chance. And that only by resolving what happened today that things could move forward.
Okay. And you're giving this impression of oh, I can't, I'm too shaken.
Yes. Should I roll diplomacy or bluff?
Let's go with bluff, since it's not real. It's not a real emotion. This will be very a very low check. I'm gonna say this is gonna be 15. Let's say
15.
I know
Okay.
it doesn't sound
Unless I
like
whiff it.
Pathfinder is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I fucking whiff it.
Oh.
Exactly 15.
Beautiful. Darling, look at you. I understand, and you know, we have time. We have time. Venus turns to the others, and Adonis like nods haphazardly, and Aphrodite, yes, we do. We have time. You can stay here for as long as you want. I understand that your ship crashed, which is why you're here in the first place, and your board dies, your ship crashes, and now you're here and you're seeing these awful things. I can't imagine the stress. Truly, you have our full support, Founder, for whatever it is you need. You don't need to make a decision now. Sleep on it if you must. We have things to attend to today. Regardless, we have another surprise meeting, as I was saying before. But I will say this. I know that what transpired today is shocking, and you know it's again, your ship crashed, which is a dreadful accident. I'm sure. The board members dying, which was an awful thing. Think of how good it would be to be able to bring them back. The people who died today, or who attacked us today, they attacked us because they're frustrated that they can't leave. You lending us help with your facility, that will do so much good for our city. It will help these people that feel trapped. You can help these people that feel trapped. And we are trying, but without you, it's so much more difficult.
I understand. I do believe I will need to sleep on this, but
Of course.
I do thank you for your time. I understand that you all have plenty of time to spare. I unfortunately do not, so I will try to make a decision soon, but please keep that in mind.
No, absolutely. We appreciate it. If you are hungry at all, please feel free to use the kitchens. We don't have a lot of food.
I'm terribly sorry to ask this. Should I feel hungry? Because I have not felt anything.
Part of forever is not needing food and drink, and that is part of the crystal's light that they've given us. You won't, whilst you're in the walls of the city, feel hungry or feel thirsty at all. But
So the light is able to maintain homeostasis and provide enough energy to all of the citizens within the city without the need of external maintenance such as sleep, food, etc.
it's everything. It's not even needed to be powered. We don't run electricity to it. It just runs itself.
So, where is... I understand. Give me some time.
Well, I have been up quite early, so I'm going to nip off. I feel like this is coming to a close, so we should all sleep on it. I have a shoot tomorrow. I'm gonna go. And yes, I think we did some good stuff. I'm I'm gonna be around town. If you need me, feel free to call. I'll be there for anything that you need from me. Founder, thank you so much for this time. Aphrodite, Adonis, like they both wave. Yes, I believe we are done. Adonis, you're preparing for the Ulfheonar meetings? Like, yeah. They get up and like, thank you so much for your time. And she reaches out her hand and then clicks the recording button, and then it dies down, and like a small like floppy disk looking tape comes up, and she picks it up and hands it to a bot that out. Okay, save.
Pardon me, Aphrodite.
Yes.
When you have a moment, could I speak to you in private?
Absolutely. Venus, you have to nip off. Adonis, go prepare the Ulfheonar. They should be arriving very soon, actually. You go meet them. Yep. And the both of them leave. Absolutely. Well, what is it that you need to talk about?
I specifically wanted to discuss with you the events of earlier. That my entourage and I were not anticipating to witness. And I wanted to say first and foremost that I place no culpability of what had occurred on you. There is no fault in your managerial positioning and your. This was scheduled by you, very well timed. Not your. Nothing of your actions resulted in what had occurred. I am slightly more upset with the other two.
Interesting. Can I ask why?
The first part of it was that of Adonis being sort of a large part of the wellness of town and sort of a point person for security and whatnot. That seems fairly large oversight on his behalf. That makes me a bit hesitant to be willing to stay if that physical threat is present. Does that make sense?
Yes. No, I do understand, Founder. Truly, I do. And Adonis, for all of his very good traits, he is boisterous and his oversight does not make him the best when it comes to the security check-ins. But we do have a team. We have a team for this. Samson is one of the more heads up there. Adonis has taken a bit of a step down of recent because we are aware that some things have begun to slip through. Still remains very much one of the founders of Freyja Incorporated, but not in a security position anymore. But I appreciate you bringing this up. Thank you very much. I will bring it up to him, and then I'll bring it up to Samson to increase security when we will leave.
So he's been demoted? Am I to understand such a...
Not demoted. Just took a step in a different direction. He when we were growing up, he very much was into, security and protecting and fighting, but shortly before we built the light and before we really founded New Moors, he tried his hand at more mercenary work. So he's was very into individual fighting and maybe not necessarily security detail. And now he prefers to help people that were in the positions that he was in, and he has taken more of a hand to self-help talks and making sure the mental health of New Moors is what it can be at the top, rather than security, which we thought would be a better angle. Its security is very good and it's very important, but the mental health of people who are living this long is more imperative, we believe.
I see. Seems.
You should watch his tapes. They're very good.
Are they like self-help tapes?
Yes, very much.
Ah.
Yes, he likes kind of helping helping the masculinity, which is something which is a dying breed nowadays, and he likes to make sure that it's kept up and people respect and are loving themselves more, which he has been ever since we were little. He's always enjoyed that side of him.
It's a shame.
What is?
It seems as though he's not just based on my very few interactions with him. Just not quite. I am a man or a person, plant science. But I am also a plant of religion. And that comes with a certain amount of you understand passion when you see it. You see the fervor when you're truly dedicated to something, to someone. Cannot say just from what has occurred today that seems passionate. Would you say that that's a fair evaluation?
Keeping passion when you've been alive for as long as we have is difficult. He keeps it all the same, but I would be lying to you if I was to say that I do not understand. It's something that is difficult to maintain when you are in a position that we are in.
Certainly. I also wanted to mention Venus. I of course have not interacted with her for too long, but I did the introduction of all of us.
Yes.
Them saying, my good friend Theriac, who I've known for so long. It as a business person, that seems hasty.
I do understand, and she has always been that way. She loves knowing people and gets so excited when new people come to the city. She loves her movies, she loves films and her songs, but the thing that she loves above others is knowing people. And I do apologize. This is something which I will bring up to her. And I appreciate you saying this and bringing this forward. It means that we will have more of a talk about it, definitely.
I understand, that she has a bravado, a presence, certain bombast. As a founder, it seems in poor taste to dive headlong into establishing a relationship when we had literally met just seconds before. You understand? Yes. I don't need to go on too much.
Theriac, I understand that you know how these types of businesses are run. And I would like you to know that when it comes to who the people who are in charge of these businesses and the people who run these things, we have the father of the Ulfheonar, we have Quinn Highlock, the people who are important and matter. I am the connector. I'm the person who people care about knowing. They, both of them, have such... I love them both dearly, as anyone loves their family. But they are here because they are my brother and sister. And
sure,
not because they're business people. When it comes to the businesses and those things, I will be your point of contact, and I do apologize. They have their passion and their loves, but when people know Venus, and I will tell others that Venus spoke out of hand and out of turn, and I will speak to her. I appreciate, again, thank you so much for bringing that forward.
I fully understand, not through experience, but through context, the situation you've been placed in. And I must say, although all three of you are founders, you are the foundiest.
And of all the people to crash land on my planet, I'm glad that it was yourself to do so.
I appreciate that.
If there's anything I can help you with, Theriac, I would love to help you there. I understand that you don't want to be here forever, so we can call a ship for you to get you onto somewhere else. We can fly you out. Anything that it is that you would need.
That is deeply appreciated. I will need to reconvene with my entourage as far as what the actual next steps beyond just returning to the Atomless. And because frankly, since landing, a lot of our goals have shifted slightly. So I do think we will be staying for a period of time. I don't mean to imply that we are going to crop dust you or anything of the sort, but
well, as long as you're here, we can keep conversations open, and you're open to stay for as long as you need.
Thank you, Aphrodite.
Thank you, Founder Theriac.
Do you prefer founder? Is that standard founder Aphrodite?
Aphrodite is quite okay. I appreciate it.
Sure.
A lot a lot of the people in this city, they call me director or founder, and all
Director.
this. Aphrodite, I far prefer.
I like whatever your preference is, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll leave.
As
I know who Quinn is. What the fuck?
I know. Oh my god.
They just name dropped Quinn.
Well,
First
Quinn-
and last name.
Quinn is one of the is someone very important in business nowadays.
Apparently.
Well,
Apparently.
when you single-handedly organize a party to celebrate the world's most exciting merger, sourcing everything on your own without any help from outside sources, it's really an impressive thing in business.
Did you know, Dylan, that Ayg was just like saddling up to like fucking Jeff Bezos? Did you know that?
She fully thought he was like, middle management,
Joe
kind of like,
Nobody, just- yeah.
yeah, like she was like, she just wanted to get invited out for drinks with the
Well, out for some drinks with the boys.
Bloody boys.
Someone please take Ayg out to a party so they no longer feel like they have to like
Or a
cozy up
pint.
to some assholes.
All right. Okay. Above
Wow.
table, we have 15 minutes of recording left. We simply cannot get through everyone. If you would like, we can close out. I'll have like a little bit, and then we'll like a little bit, which is not necessarily involving characters or anything. Like a small, just like closing. This is what happens at the end, and then we can pick up next episode, or we can jump into someone else if someone wants.
I will
as long
say-
as I'm okay with either, as long as we don't not get to do those character scenes.
You will
period.
no,
we
like
still get to
it
do
will
them.
pick up
Cool.
directly, like
Cool.
it will pick up next session with everyone doing their own little thing.
All right,
Uh,
then I leave it
Andre
to you.
Say something.
I was also going to say, I will probably dip fairly soon. But
There we go.
if other people want to continue, I am okay with that. I will just dip, or like step away, and then just like ping me when the session is over. Just because I am.
Sleepy.
Yeah,
Maybe.
of course.
I
Let's have a group call.
I actually haven't. I think that we should do one more and then we call it there because I feel like that's a good. match.
I actually like that. One more, and then so it's 2 at the end of this episode and 2 at the start of the next.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's totally good.
Who am I to go to next?
Ayg, Skye, and
Ayg.
Azhaam.
Yeah.
Can I call
Ayg and
it
Scrap. Team.
Wait, what'd you say,
Crystal
Norden?
Rats, team, and then
Are you saying not it, Norden?
Not it.
Not it? Okay.
Do neither of you want to go?
I
Go,
am-
Mama.
If you two don't want to go, then I will volunteer.
I'm wondering how to close it out. That's what I'm in an R in right now. I'm wondering who's going to be the closer to this episode.
I'm okay with going.
I
I'm-
especially
yeah.
like it because we just had a name drop of Quinn for Ayg to go next.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
I'm
Alright.
okay with that. Yeah, I'm in.
and then we'll pick up. the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
'Cause
100%.
Sky- The team is a
Mhm.
bit of a longer one.
Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah, no, I'm absolutely down.
Okay. Okay. Across the city, I guess, Ayg and Scrap walk in the path of the light. The city sprawls out in front of you. You are outside of the manor at this point. You weren't stopped as you walked out, as you are esteemed guests, so it matters not. You see the burning sun which you have attained. The crystal is inside. Above the sun is the other half of the city. It curves round to meet you. This inside of a dome, as it were. Scrap. Hands over their eyes. How the fuck are we getting up there?
Should be no problem. We can. Do you not do a lot of, climbing?
Yeah, but that's 1,000 foot in the air. I don't think we can climb that far.
Well,
Hovering, kept.
I mean, there's some sort of wiring holding it in, right? Or is it literally just
as you were
hovering?
getting driven past? There's like no wiring holding it. Oh no, tell a lie. There are these like small very thick chains that are holding it in place in these like four corners of the city, but they don't look like climbable safe. However, when you were driving past the gardens on your way in, you saw that there were these vines that in this like more forested area, it looked wild, but in this forested area there are these ivy vines that almost like cascade down from the sun into the garden. The gardens, which is a huge zone, but it's the gardens.
I'm not going to say it's easy, but, well, Scrap, how's your tail?
Tensile.
Strong?
Yeah.
Well, then you'll be fine. I'll guide you. Trust me, I have traversed the intricate pathways from the lower decks to the upper decks so many times. This is actually something I'm not terribly afraid of. And those vines, they look sturdy. Their plants are thicker than you think and stronger than you think.
All right, we can give it a go. I don't know if we can climb the whole thing without being caught. But I trust you. We can do that if you want.
Well, let's, on our way in, if we see another route, we'll stay savvy. But I think we can stay fairly undetected. We just have to keep our wits about us. I'm going to very confidently lead in to the gardens. Yes.
So the gardens is the name for what could be a small town size, like almost a small national park. It is full of trees and seemingly wildlife that lives here. There's a small way in that almost blocks your vision of the sky up top through the overhang of trees. There are these like walkable paths that you can walk. A possible man-made river, or maybe it's just a natural river that they have carved out so you can see it in this huge area that not river, sorry, a lake that is now that now centers this whole that centers this park. Walking in, you see a few other denizens of this like upper very nice region. A few times you like have to catch yourself because you think you see Venus walking past, but then you realize it's not her. It's just someone who looks very similar. You get to about a 30 to 40 foot rock face where these vines have almost rested and then began to like overtake. You can see the pock marks of where these vines have grown and been like cut away, clearly in an effort to keep it maintained so people don't try what you're about to try.
Okay, so wait, this getting to the vines is gonna be the tougher part, I think. But we're both mysterious and skillful,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I've done tougher things. I've gotten through worse scrapes.
You say that. You say that sometimes.
I believe it too. I think we can. We just need to keep our wits about us and make sure we don't accidentally piss anyone off. If anyone asks, we're just enthusiastic climbers, and we're here on case of Dr. Theriac. Which
Exactly.
should give us some leeway.
We're just climbing. I like climbing. That remains true, whether or not we get caught. So, okay. We're gonna go as quick as we can. As soon as we get over the wires and to the vines, we just go up as quietly and as quickly as possible. And I want to just ask you something before we go over. Scrap, you know Void well, right?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever wanted dead by them? Who just lives?
I'm so sorry for all the crinkling.
So fine. You're so fine.
It was actually kind of funny.
Your
Rarely
face
ask for our
it was
chat
like-
to clip things, but God, I want to watch that face.
The face is good.
I went from digging around for chips to looking over at the screen, and then in my peripheral, just seeing the little green circle on my mic and being like, "Oh, oh no!"
And now Norden is the all-seeing eye, which we love.
Well,
You're
has
wondering if
anybody?
been wanted dead by Void?
And not gotten dead.
I don't know what you want me to say.
You can tell me the honest truth. I just want to know what my, chances are. I want to know how repeatable this is.
They are two different things. All right, there's two ways that you get out of a Void contract. The person who made the contract pulls the request, or you go through so many Void members that it becomes unsustainable to keep throwing people at you. That is...
I mean,
That's
Makes me-
how you get that contract off. For you saying, is it feasible? We are not... You are going to be incredibly safe. I will never let anyone get close to you in that regard ever. You are going to be fine, Ayg. I'm going to promise you, as someone who has done this for a long time, close to 30 years I've been a member of Void, and I'm going to tell you this now. You are not you are not in threat of them at all. I used to be Void. I think the Void has done genuinely a lot of good for me. They have saved my life countless times. They have helped, and they've put food on my table, and they've given me somewhere to live. I am the captain of the Patchwork first, before any affiliation. And you are a member of the Patchwork. You are not going anywhere. All right?
Okay. I looks around and is like, go! Go now! And shoves Scrap over the little
railing and
and scurries to the vine.
You are still at the beginning of these vines. You're there is still this rock face that you have to climb up, but even when you get on top of that, there is this. You're still slightly covered by trees, so you won't be spotted by other members at all.
It's just that, as I guess just kind of positioning herself with this vine and just tugging on it and testing how strong they are, and wrapping her tail around it and figuring that out. It's just, Scrap, you hired us for just one job, and now I know that we're a crew, but I've made terrible mistakes in bringing Void attention to your ship and to Skye, and I mean, I know I technically won that death race, but it brought more attention on us, and maybe more attention on Tommy and those back on Saga, and I don't think I really fully understood what we were doing, and now it's starting to become more clear, and I don't think I've done all the right things. And I don't know why you would fight something so dark and terrible for me.
I think I know firsthand about making mistakes and having to deal with it. There are cities worth of people on Saga who aren't part of Void at all, but would wish and command me dead. I get it. I know. It's being alive, living a sentient life. It's about making mistakes, which you will all the time, over and over and over again. There's no chance that you are gonna live any form of life and not fuck up in some way. But you will also be forgiven by others. You can speak to people who don't know of the previous mistakes, and as long as you have done your best to make amends and tried, then that's all that matters. I know that you've made mistakes. I've also made mistakes. My mistakes are going to catch up to me. Theriac's mistakes are going to catch up to them. Azhaam's mistakes are going to catch up to them. Skye's mistakes are going to catch up. Flair, Keelan, Estrid, who I'm a little shaky on. Or everyone's mistakes are going to catch up to them. But we're a team. That's the point. We are here together.
Do you ever wonder? I mean, you left. I didn't know everything about Saga and why things. I still don't know exactly why things are the way they are there, but I feel like it's coming together. And we left, and I don't know, when we helped Neutrino Downs, there was a part of me that felt like I wish we were helping Saga. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah. Saga is my home. Lower Decks is. You know, the upper decks continuously try to kill us, but they're just so strong that they just won't go down. And yeah, I want to help. I absolutely do. And I just don't. One day, yeah. I know I will. I'll help with whatever is needed if I can. And I mean, looks around at the like massive city that is thousands of miles underground. Take this as a test run. We're just 8 people. And we're trying here. Maybe afterward we can go back to Tommy and try again.
Maybe that's one way out of the mess I've found myself in as well. You said that if you're too hard to kill, they just stop trying. If we get the lower decks out of that situation, and we destroy that situation, then maybe they won't see me as a target anymore either. Could be a side effect.
I don't know if protecting the lower decks is gonna matter much to the Void. They're heavy presence there, but they're a heavy presence because people are easy to manipulate there. Helping them might make it worse. But that doesn't mean we can't try.
But if the lower decks are stronger and aren't under that goddamn floor, I don't know, maybe the whole illusion falls and they don't have the same hold that they did.
It's definitely worth a try.
And if they're gonna kill me anyway, I might as well do something, good on the way.
That's the story I live by. Hey, if we're gonna die anyway, we might as well go out doing something.
Well, get your tail up. And and I wraps the tail around the vine and starts to like do sort of like a little crawl where like her tail is like winding up and she's
picking
crawling
up.
with her hands as well.
Give me give me a check here.
Okay.
Me a bloody.
Uh-huh.
I mean, an athletics, I imagine.
Can I argue acrobatics?
You can argue acrobatics, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Give me an acrobatics.
It's a pretty big difference. Okay, good.
I am actually going to roll for Scrap to see if he's good at this.
24.
Jesus. You are a tiny rat.
How
are you getting 24s?
Acrobatics is good for tiny rats.
Apparently. All right. I got an 18, so I guess Scrap also is able to keep up in some way.
Good job.
After about 40 foot of climbing straight up, it does begin to get difficult because this is climbing straight up. In Saga, in the lower decks, you're climbing through vents. There's moments to rest. If you go up the ladder, you can still like rest on the ladder a little bit. This is just like a pure haul up. So it starts to get a little difficult when you get to about 40 foot up. You have about you have a while yet. It's looking like you've just started. If you want, you can give me another one.
I do want to give you another one. I may fudge.
What?
I Hephaestus just did a cheeky little crash on me, but I got it back. I got it back.
Very good. Very good.
Okay. That was not good. So my second acrobatics is only a 10.
I tell you what.
Okay.
I'm gonna mark that down as a failure. To have this have some form of, coherence, we're gonna have a 3 failure, 3 success ability check to this. We have 1 success and 1 failure. The DC of this is gonna go up every single time you are climbing it.
Okay.
With the downside being hard, like heavier the closer you are to the top. So that's 1 success, 1 failure. This is going to be a check of 20 for the second.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
As we get up, do I see anything nearby, anything that has any sort of electric charge to it?
Not nearby you, as you are very much climbing a natural, like natural vines you're climbing up.
Yep.
But the sun that is shining this light is an absolute symphony of noise. It is so powerful when it comes to electric charge.
Okay. All right. It's getting trickier, so just hang in there, Scrap. How are you doing?
Yep,
are you doing okay?
Fine. I'm keeping up.
Okay.
Okay, so is this a new roll? Is our
new
second test roll? Okay. So you have 1 success, 1 failure. It's still DC 20.
Yep. Okay, that is going to be a 22, so that's okay.
Beautiful. So that's 2 successes, 1 failure. Now you are 250 foot in the air at this point. If these vines were to break, you would die. You would crack on the ground and splat.
Yep. Understood.
Yeah.
Captain.
It's very good.
Yeah.
You're about 150 foot away from the sun itself. Just hauling yourself up. This is going to be a 25.
Okay. As I am getting closer up, how close in feet roughly is the sun? The crystal?
150. 150.
150?
Yeah. Do you want to be closer to use an ability?
I want to just check and see if I can already use an ability, because I might be able to.
Mm-hmm.
160 feet.
Okay, there you go.
I
Use this
can.
ability. What's up? What is
This is telepathic message.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it will work, but Ayg is gonna try it. As she's getting closer, and just say, "This is gonna be so stupid." I'm so sorry.
You're connected. Are you trying to connect to the other crystal? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. Don't be alarmed. We're coming to you because we're friends, I think, with the other crystal that's like you.
Give me a computer's roll.
Okay. That's gonna be sick. 16, 17, 18. 28.
As you reach out, there is immediate interference. You feel a buzz and a crackle in your mind as you know that you connect to this crystal. You speak some words, and in your backpack, as I imagine, you have the original crystal with you.
Yeah.
It rumbles, and the original crystal that you had, who you nicknamed Spot, floats slightly out of your bag, and you hear in your mind that I am pulling at threads here. I just don't think that we can keep going to this same degree. And you hear the other crystal, I know, but Wolf, we have to try, okay? We are so close, and he will kill everything. I know. Believe me, I know. I know. Tell me about yourself. I am Dr. Wolf, and I am pulling at threads. Let's get back to work. And then the connection to the other crystal ends, and that is where we'll leave today's episode.
Shut up!
God.
What?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Who's Dr. Wolf?
Matt said that the crystal was saying, I am Wolf.
I am Wolf,
In the
and it's
very
also
first-
said, I am Doctor. Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yep.
I relate.
Oh my god.
How long are you holding on to that one, Matt?
Literally,
I'm gonna say
episode
the-
1. I've been holding on to that.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Okay.
What
There you
the
go.
Holy smokes.
fuck?
There you go.
What
Oh
a
my god, they
cliffhanger.
speak? That's crazy.
They like have conversations?
They are having a conversation, or have they already had this conversation? And
I
they're
guess
just
it's in the
relaying it?
past?
Maybe. God, it's fucking weird, right?
I ship the crystals.
Ship the crystals.
Yeah. I ship the crystals too, actually.
They're gay.
Yeah.
Gay
This is why you should,
crystals.
Oh my god, I
this is why you
love
should join
that.
the Patreon, where Matt just reveals every single secret.
I will tell you
Yeah.
absolutely every single secret. Subscribe to the Patreon.
If
the
you-
highest
if you
tier.
pay-
give me money, and I will give you every secret.
If you pay Matt $100 directly into their bank account, they will offer you the answer to any question about Atomless.
One question.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Just one
Yeah,
question.
one question.
If you wanna, if you, and there, it might be like a one-word no, and then you'll have to pay another 100 to ask to clarify.
Hey Google, Norse mythology wolf. scientist.
Fenrir?
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna come up with a very specific thing if you Google Norse mythology wolf.
The wolf.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was the wolf. There was the wolf that ate the sun, and this feels very much like the crystal has, taken over.
Has taken.
It's
has
got
taken
sun
the-
imagery.
Yeah, it has
Mhm.
taken the place of the sun. Oh my god, this is so
But
good.
that's a different wolf, I think.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna call it a little show there. Thank you so much, beautiful, wonderful people. I appreciate you. Hey, did you like
That's
this? And you're like, man, I'd love to hear this in audio form. Then go and listen to the podcast, which is where we do all the stuff. Where we take away all the mechanics talk and we just add sound effects, pew-pews, and music and all that. And if you're like, man, I wish I could support the crew, well, then you can. Join our Patreon, where we have a Patreon, where we do all that.
Mhm.
Anything I'm missing?
No.
No? Thank you, beautiful, wonderful souls. for
Remember
joining us.
that. Wait.
Go.
Wait, what? What?
Remember that we are currently sponsored by Hero Forge, so you can go check out our socials for hints on the other. I'm so tired.
If
We are
you
sponsored by Hero Forge. There are contests coming up. Make sure to follow us. Make sure
Yes.
to keep eyes tuned, and you may win your very own miniature. From
We have a
One-
lot of
Hero
weird,
Forge.
funky things.
one
that
way
do.
we have so many codes for minis, but one way is no one has yet to show us a hidden Matthew. If you find a hidden Matthew, the odds are you will be the only one, and you will win a code for.
You won't just be
Hero
the only
Forge.
one of people watchers who knows where a hidden Matthews. By the way, I've edited in a picture of my face into every single episode of the Atomless almost, and it won't just be you're. It's like it's not just like you're first listener to get it. You will be the first person ever to catch a hidden Matthew because try as Dylan might still hasn't gotten one
Shut
yet.
the fuck up! You shut your.
Anyway, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining
And
us here.
are our soaps still in the familiar shop?
Yes, they are. Soaps
are still
in the
I need to buy a new one.
If you would like to smell like any member of the crew, we have Atomless themed soaps available in the familiar shop on Etsy.
Yeah.
Good shit. The Theriac one legitimately smells so fucking good.
So good.
And
The Theriac one and the Azhaam one, I have burned through 2 of each of those.
I've just finished the Ayg one.
Yeah.
I need to get a new Theriac one.
Theriac one is absolutely killer. I love it so much.
And
Yeah.
last but not least, take care of yourselves out there.
Yes,
And-
please.
Absolutely. Thank you, gang, so much for being here. I hope to see you next time. And the next time, that's it. We fly to the Atomless Sea. I forgot what the thing was. I hope you all are there to fly with us. Everyone, same time. Yeah, you can see the people who hate it, and it's very funny.
Bye.
People.